This is something I will never understand from an audience perspective. React content, at least the more popular form of it, is mostly completely useless on YouTube. Many people are choosing to settle for some dumbed-down word salad form of it, rather than an insightful discussion version that is infinitely more useful. Firstly, let's go over the different versions of React content I'm talking about. There's this simplistic, cannibalistic, useless version. The version where people mostly watch videos. And that's it.
Whoa, what'd that do?
I don't know.
Oh no, Carl! I'm so sorry. It's a cancer ray!
Harley Quinn, you gave me cancer?
Why would they even make this?
Well, that's it, kid. I'm gonna spend the holidays with my kids.
I'm so sorry!
Well, sometimes they comment enough to barely scrape by as transforming it, even though if you actually listen to or think about what they're saying, you'll find they might as well shut the fuck up and go away so you could watch the original video yourself. These are also often stream clips, so not only is this being done live, it's also getting re-uploaded to basically double dip on the money and views people will earn for doing the minimum. Then there's the version that everyone should be aiming for, where you're not only watching something, but you're injecting your own opinions, perspectives, and responses to points in the video. The main draw should be what you're contributing, not what the video is saying and doing with you laughing in the corner. The only really consistent and good example I've seen of this really is EFAP. They regularly break down entire videos, discuss almost every point and topic mentioned in said video, and anything else they would like to talk about. But unfortunately, they're not the most popular React channel on YouTube. Let's start with maybe a more obvious example to set the stage. This is Pheromone.
You can hear these nuts?
I have the humor of a 14-year-old because these fucking D's nuts jokes.
The first reaction of hers that really tipped me off to this type of pattern of reactions was her reaction to SCP's Shy Guy by the Vulgan, where she really has this tone-killing moment in the middle of the video.
Target is currently westbound, traveling on... Shit. Yeah, he's on the I-40. I think he just flipped a semi.
Look at his little butt! Look at his little butt! This thing could murder me in a second, but look at his little butt! Look at his little butt! Look at it! look at his little butt! He got a little butt. I'm sorry.
This is a murderer. This is something that could murder all of us.
Look at his little butt.
Okay, I'm sorry.
More recently, her React content has shifted towards these Dragon Ball FighterZ videos made by Lythero. The first problem, really, is somehow Pheromone watched these out of order.
The shenanigans were able to enjoy an era of peace.
Oh, no, wait! Aw, can we not watch this out of order? Wait. Can we not watch this out of order?
Instead of fighting raid bosses, they were able to play video games with mutuals and friends alike. Perhaps there is no more need for these raid videos as the threat of Goku has finally been destroyed. Wait a minute, wait, hang on. What? Why is Gogeta back? Why is the monkey SSJ Forge Gogeta?
I don't... We're missing context.
Leave me alone!
I mean, they have upload dates. How the fuck did you watch them out of order? I don't even... Whatever. That's not even the biggest problem here, because she does, I guess, re-upload them in order despite the issue that will cause. The bigger issue is that I'm not even sure this is transformed enough to be transformative content. Pheromone's reaction to this video, for example, is not meaningfully longer than the original. And already that's not a good start. I mean, you're watching basically an hour-long video and you only tacked on a couple more minutes? I guess maybe, to be fair, she could have transformed it super hard for those couple minutes, so let's actually look through those in her reaction video.
CM password is before.
No!
Easy clap. It's just for Dell.
Oh my god.
No way!
Easy clap.
That's not very nice.
So much disrespect, man.
Show, he's kind of gaming.
He's so
Hey,
small.
Oh my god! No.
Do not piss off tiny people. Do not piss off tiny people.
I hear you over there. You can hear these nuts.
Oh my god, I want that fucking soundbite. You can hear these nuts. Oh, I want that.
So, full honesty, I've linked down in the description a cut down of her reaction to where she's pausing the video and actually talking. She does talk while the video is playing sometimes, but it's not my job to parse out what you're trying to say while the video you're reacting to is playing in the background. You have an editor or you edit yourself because every time you pause the video it zooms in on you. You're telling me that nobody thought to lower the video audio when you talk over it? Or better yet, while you're streaming it, pause the video to talk? Even then, she does sometimes add something through her reaction, like when the bottled water is mentioned and Pheromone has a tangent about that. But that's not really the majority of her reaction. The majority of her is her laughing or not really grasping what's happening in the video or making a surface level comment that basically just points out something you would see if you watch the video on your own. I really couldn't tell you why Pheromone is as big as she is, other than maybe she baited people by being hot. Maybe. It's also a problem that no one seems to really say anything about her reactions. People are just content to let it happen and vote on what she watches next? Alright, we're moving on before I have a goddamn coronary. Let's just briefly also go over maybe one of the bigger streamers who is not an anime person, so I can say that I'm not being biased. No, not him. EFAP already had a React war with that guy. EFAP also had a war with him, too.
It's better. Wow.
Unfortunately, I don't really have the patience for it, but one of Asmongold's videos about a game called Hytale has all of the issues we've talked about in Pheromone's reaction to the Lythero video. He talks over the video, says things that aren't really going to matter if you think about what he's saying because the game is still not finished when he made that video, and he's saying things that are surface level and don't exactly point out things that you wouldn't have seen on your own.
Yep. Building, of course, on the Hypixel Minecraft
they got
servers,
bought by,
which are wildly popular. More than 60 million people watched the
They got bought
reveal
by
trailer.
Riot.
No one else wanted to buy it at the time, so the project was cancelled. But it turns out people made a lot of noise.
The original
Now
guy bought it back.
Hytale is alive. It actually seems Riot were happy enough to sell it to them. They then iterated
It's
on
insane. They bought the game, it didn't turn out the way they wanted it to, and they sold it back to the guy they bought it from.
So, let's get into it, because Hytale
not being on Steam
isn't
is such an
just
L.
not
True.
dead, and basically that same expansion of things applies to weapons, magic,
There's not a-
combat.
yeah, I
All
never
of
played
those things
Minecraft.
have quite a
I
bit
never
more
played
depth.
Minecraft.
Now, some of that is depth that you could get with Minecraft.
No, it sounds crazy, but
be
yeah.
that just
I've also talked about this in my audience attentiveness video where Asmongold was reacting to the Wolfglick drama, but only really at a surface level. Just in case that happens to be one of his bad reactions, let's check one of the more recent clips on his channel. And we're gonna have to ignore the blanket hard clickbait thumbnails and titles, cause I've already talked about leaning hard into clickbait being bad.
Scoop, Pam Bondi will soon leave her job as the Attorney General.
See ya.
It does seem like they want her to go and do something else.
Yeah,
and
like
in
anything
an
else.
interim role, she will be replaced.
So already he's talking over the video. Why do people do this? Do you not realize that if you are talking while the video is playing, both of you are harder to understand? It's one button. You just press the space bar before you talk.
By Todd Blanche, who is currently her deputy at the Justice Department.
We gotta get somebody crazy in there. We gotta get somebody that does it for the love of the game.
So that doesn't mean anything. What game exactly should the Attorney General play? What love are they supposed to have for that game? Love for playing it? Love for the rules of it? Love just because? It was something I touched on long ago in my Yu-Gi-Oh video with MBT Yu-Gi-Oh, but you need to connect the dots for people who watch your videos. Leaving stuff vague and ambiguous for no reason means people will come to all sorts of conclusions about what you're saying and not actually understand what you were trying to say. We don't particularly need to keep going over this clip second by second anymore. He does an okay job reading tweets and watching clips, but his particular observations are either opaque, like from the beginning, or surface level, like saying the Epstein files aren't clearly all Pam Bondi's fault, but she's an idiot. This is something I imagine you could do for a lot of reaction content on Asmongold's clips, or even with videos like his one about Hightail. He's obviously reacting and transforming it to some degree, but the quality of his transformation of the content pales in comparison to EFAP. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to make 9-hour live streams all the time and touch on every single point in a video, but you should at least try. If all you're going to do is make surface level observations, laugh, and talk over the video, are you really even reacting to the video, or are you just making a worse re-upload of it? Perhaps this is more clear with Pheromone's video because she was reacting to a video meant for entertainment. There wasn't really anything for her to do but laugh and vaguely react to things in the video. In that aspect, her choice of video to react to, or her audience's choice, was actively detrimental. Her reaction may be transformative, but minimally, and it doesn't actively inject a meaningful amount of her persona or anything into this reaction. But Asmongold's clip here is in the same vein. It's better, but it's not really good enough. He's reading tweets, reacting to clips, talking over the opening one, and drawing basic conclusions that most people would come to. Even then, if you think the reaction in that clip is fine, I implore you to go watch his Hightail video reaction, or the clip of his I broke down in audience attentiveness. Those reactions are bad. Specifically the one from audience attentiveness, since it appears that he didn't particularly engage with Wolfglick's problems about going to in-person Pokemon events. One of those, Wolfglick states, is he's constantly being sexually assaulted, even though it's low on his priorities list. You would think his fellow YouTuber Asmongold would consider that point a little more carefully, and he did. But that was only for a friend of his who had gone through a similar event in recent times. It had nothing to do with Wolfglick.
It's better.
It's especially unfortunate because these types of reactions are not obviously bad. The ones that are barely longer than trailers, and the shorts where people are just sitting there watching something, those are easy to call out. It's super easy to say that those are obviously not transformative.
I need to commentate on something. Wait, what do you commentate about? I don't know. I gotta find... Oh, my flapping. Oh, dude. There were so many things to pause on as well, by the way. There was a lot of text.
But you can't do this to me.
But for things like Pheromone, Asmongold, and some other VTubers, it seems to be a little more of a challenge. Dipper Dog's reaction to this meme is to just laugh and tell you what's going on in the meme she's watching.
Peak male content. Ping pong. Shovel? Board? Can? Trash bag? Box? Reverse it! Wow, that's...
And Dipper Dog does the same thing when reacting to Al Bundy clips from... She is technically reacting, like how Pheromone is, and sometimes Asmongold is. But this type of reaction doesn't actually transform anything in a meaningful way.
So you think I'm a loser? Just because I have a stinking job that I hate? A family that doesn't respect me? A whole city that curses the day I was born? Well, that may mean loser to you, but let me tell you something. Every morning when I wake up, I know it's not going to get any better until I go back to sleep again.
Oh.
So I get up, have my watered-down Tang and still frozen Pop-Tart, get in my car with no upholstery, no gas, and 6 more payments to fight traffic just for the privilege of putting cheap shoes on the cloven hooves of people like you.
Oh.
I'll never play football like I thought I would. I'll never know the touch of a beautiful woman. And I'll never again know the joy of driving without a bag on my head. But I'm not a loser. Because despite it all, me and every other guy who will never be what he wanted to be are still out there being what we don't want to be 40 hours a week for life.
Wow.
And the fact that I haven't put a gun in my mouth, you pudding of a woman, makes me a winner.
He's not wrong. Lolly ho, everyone. Dipper's back with another reaction video with Al Bundy.
Shame on you, shame on your mama, shame on your kids.
And to be fair, there are channels that don't just freeboot other content for their shorts constantly. But that doesn't mean Dipper Dog, Pheromone, and sometimes Asmongold get a pass for reacting in a subpar fashion. It's just a way to scummily rip off other content, and even scummier that audiences don't comment about it. Ever. It's so baffling, and it should be so annoying to have people actively crave for you to add nothing.